Hey there guys, John Campea here. Thanks for visiting my movie vlog. You know, this past weekend, Disney held their big event, D23. If you don't know what D23 is, it's kind of Disney's own version of Comic-Con, their own Comic-Con, if you will, that they get to hold in their own backyard. They talk about everything coming out with Pixar, with Lucasfilm, with Disney proper, with Marvel, all that good stuff. Now, just like Comic-Con, they have their own version of Hall H, the big presentations where they bring out stars of the biggest movies, they show some footage, they show some trailers, and this year was definitely no different. They debuted that big Star Wars The Last Jedi 2-minute and something behind the scenes footage and then released that online for the world to see. They showed us for the first trailer for Wrinkle in Time and then released that online for the world to see. They announced the official cast for Aladdin and released the news for the world to hear. And then they showed this sizzle trailer reel of sorts for the upcoming Avengers Infinity War, and everybody loved it. But they didn't release it for people to see. Now, they also showed some footage for the upcoming Lion King, and they also didn't release that for people to see. But the one thing that most people are talking about is, if you're going to release the Star Wars stuff, and you're going to release the Wrinkle in Time stuff, and you're releasing all this stuff to the public that you showed at D23, why not show us this Avengers Infinity War thing? That's what everybody wants to see right now. I mean, yes, people wanted to see Star Wars The Last Jedi stuff, but we've already got a trailer for that. That movie's coming in a few months. We've already kind of had our appetites whetted a little bit for that. We want to see Infinity War stuff. So why show us all this other stuff but keep the stuff that everybody wants to see under wraps? Well, I've got a few theories about that. I want to take a second and talk about some of the reasons why they should have released that Infinity War reel to the world for the rest of us to see. And then I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why I think they didn't do it. Why you should have showed it. Reason number one, you showed it to everybody at D23. I mean, you had thousands of people come out there. You advertised D23 as this big, massive thing. You would think if you're going to reveal something and show the world something for the first time at it, then you're going to show it to the world and not just the people there. Reason number two, you showed a lot of other stuff from D23. Look, I get it. If you want to make D23 this exclusive closed ecosystem of a thing where only the people who come out get treated as special by being shown all this great stuff, I kind of get that. But why pick and choose about which stuff you're going to reveal to the public? I mean, if you're going to reveal the Star Wars stuff, if you're going to reveal the Wrinkle in Time stuff, if you're going to release information about a whole bunch of other stuff, why pick and choose what things you're going to keep close to vest and not show to the rest of the world? Reason number three, you should have shown it. Comic-Con is this week, and you know that Warner Brothers and DC are going to make a big splash with their Justice League stuff and probably their Aquaman stuff. Everybody's going to be talking about that. If you had released this Infinity War footage now, it maybe could have carried over through Comic-Con, even though you're not going to have a big presence there. Okay, so why didn't Disney reveal the Avengers Infinity War to the rest of the world? I think they probably have a couple of reasons, and I even understand a couple of them too. Let's talk about those. Reason number one, they probably didn't release it online, the exclusivity of D23. Now, I already talked about that for a second, but let's look at it from their point of view for a minute. They're trying to convince people to come out to this D23 event. And by coming out, a lot of people are flying in from around the country. They're buying expensive tickets. They're getting expensive hotel rooms. They're standing in lines and they're coming there to be that. I understand Disney's desire then to want to give them something that's just for them. Hey, you went through all that hassle to get here and actually physically be here, then you get rewarded by having something exclusive and special that's just for you. I understand that reasoning, I really do. Reason number two, they just might feel it's a little bit too early to release the first footage of Avengers Infinity War. Look, the movie doesn't come out till May 2018. It's practically still a year away. What does it benefit Disney, they may be thinking, what does it benefit us to release this footage right now? Because the pop we get from it will probably dissipate and disappear long before we get to the release date of the movie. So what would be the point? I'm not necessarily saying I agree with that logic, but if you look at it from their point of view, there's some rationale to that reasoning, and maybe that's what they're thinking. The third reason I could see them not wanting to release this footage online right now is because the PR business, public relations, spinning stuff, this is a science and an art. And if they don't feel like the package they were able to put together to show at D23, like maybe they thought, yeah, this is good enough for D23. They just finished shooting the movie. Star Wars The Last Jedi has wrapped production a long time ago. They've had a long time to put that little behind the scenes sizzle reel together to show to the people at D23 and release online. But maybe they're not there yet with Avengers Infinity War. Maybe they were able to put something together that they felt was good enough to show at D23, but they might be sitting back and going, do we want this reel? Do we want this footage? Do we want this sizzle trailer to be the first thing the world sees about Avengers Infinity War. And if they don't think that it's quite there yet or quite right and it's not ready for that, then they would be justified in wanting to hold it back until they felt they had a reel and a trailer that was ready to be presented to the world. Potential reason number 4, and I only say this is potential because I'm just speculating here, okay? I've got nothing to base this on. Comic-Con is coming up in just a couple of days. Now, officially on the record, Marvel's not doing anything big at Comic-Con, but who says they may not want to make a splash during Comic-Con by releasing the Avengers Infinity War reel online then? They don't necessarily have to have a panel at Comic-Con, but what happens if at the Friday of Comic-Con, Marvel just goes, oh, by the way, we just dropped this online. Suddenly, they get a lot of the attention that was on other things going on at Comic-Con, and maybe that's their plan. I don't really think that's their plan, but man, that would actually kind of be a stroke of genius on their part if they did. So there you have it, guys. There's some of my reasons why I felt they should have released the footage online for everybody to see, and some of the reasons they might be thinking about why they're justified to keep it to themselves. I think there's arguments for and against, but the most important thing here is, what do you think? Can you think of some other reasons why maybe they should have released it online? Can you think of some other reasons why maybe they wanted to play it more closely to the vest and keep it just for D23? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, while you're here, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're following me on social media on Facebook and on Twitter. That'll do it for me, guys. Thanks for visiting my movie vlog, and until the next video, bye-bye.